Yes, us, girly pops. It's Finny. I'm back with another Amberlynn Reid reaction video. So today we're looking at her most recent upload, which is called Torrid Try-On Haul, our mukbangs coming back, and the 9 BPD criteria traits. Sparkle emoji, vlog. I wish y'all could see my hands. Maybe one day I'll put a camera on here, but I talk with my hands and I'm doing jazz fingers. But yeah, before we get into this, I'm gonna just tell you right now, this is my 4th time trying to make this video. I just, for some reason, am having the most difficult time either getting into the flow, having the right vibe for it, or something has interrupted the video process. Whatever, we're on it now. Before I let Amberlynn ramble about her nonsense, I'm going to ramble about mine. First of all, I wanted to say thank you so much for the love you showed on my last video. I upload these videos as entertainment and for fun, and I don't really expect many people to be watching them or having anything to say, but there were more comments and likes and views on that one than any of my other ones. I think all of them combined. So I really appreciate it. I love seeing what y'all have to say, and I hope it continues in the future. Second, my beloved Jinxie, my Jinxie cat, is next to me. She was so vocal the last time, and y'all loved hearing her thoughts and opinions. And she's an old lady, so she got a lot of them. But she is relaxing next to me, and she may decide at any point to scream her little head off, but that's all right. We enjoy the input. And then third, because this is like a 4th time trying to make this video, I have watched about halfway through this, and I've said it before and I'm going to reiterate it. I am not a psychologist, psychiatrist, therapist, counselor. I do not claim to be, and I won't be diagnosing or rescinding any diagnosis that Amberlynn may have or may not have. I'm going to give my opinions on it, and I'm going to give some scientific opinions on it because I do have a little bit of a background in psychology just because of the degree I have. And yeah, but it's just, like I said, it's courses. It's not a full, like, psych degree or anything like that. So I just found some of the things she's going to talk about interesting. So I think when that comes up, I may end up babbling a bit. And if you get bored with it, I totally understand. But I think it's better to kind of cover what she is going to be addressing and putting out there, because I don't think it's right. Anyways, let's jump into it. And I know the first portion of this is a little bit boring because she is only talking about, like, I don't know, her Legos. Anyways, let's get into it. I think I have everything set up. Yes, I do.
Alright, you guys, I am not vlogging today, but I did promise you I would give you guys a day-by-day update on this build that I am doing. So in total, there is 584 steps. I am currently on step 151, and this is how it is looking. Absolutely insane.
Wow.
Like, what? How have I done this? I really don't know. There it is. Hello. So it is March 1st. As you guys saw, I did not vlog yesterday. I did give you a build update though. So yesterday my mom asked if I wanted to go to bingo, and like I was just debating all day long, and I was like, no. I felt bad because I could tell she wanted me to go, but like I have zero energy. Like ever since I got COVID, like my whole body and mind has just like changed. I have not been able to like gain my energy, stamina, like my brain is still foggy, my breathing is worse than ever. Like it's not the greatest feeling. So then she called me again today and she was like, we're going to bingo, do you want to go tonight? So since I said no to last night, I was like, you know what, mom, yes, I will go. So I'm gonna go to bingo. This is like the first time that I went and have done anything in almost a month. So I'm really excited to see my mom and hang out with her. And I know a lot of you was actually worried about her thinking that she got COVID because I told you guys that she ended up messaging me saying that she doesn't feel well. Well, she took 2 COVID tests and they were both negative, and
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear Mama Lynn did not catch the corona.
She just was feeling under the weather. She feels a lot better now, so that's good. Thankfully, we're going to a bingo hall that actually has really good events. So like the cigarette smoke isn't as intense because I'm telling
That is so crazy to me. And now I I live in the Northeast and I haven't really seen any indoor smoking anything in, oh my god, a long, long time now. I'm 34, so I was definitely around on the days when, you had to differentiate between whether you wanted to sit in a smoking or non smoking section. Um, but I think the only places I've seen that still allow indoor smoking, and it's not even in my state, it's outside of it, is like a casino. But I've not seen like a bingo hall or any community center that still allows it. So that sucks. And if you want to smoke in your own domicile, your own car with the windows up and doing your own thing, that is on you. And whatever. Usually when you tell cigarette smokers, you're like, this is really bad for you, they're like, oh, I know it's killing me. Like, they're pretty much like the most honest about what it comes to their vice. Uh, but in a shared communal space, I don't. Ugh. We've seen how secondhand smoke operates and how bad it is, and how people will end up with lung cancer without ever smoking a day in their life because of it. So I'm big on not doing that. But hey, to each their own.
my lungs do not need that. Like I have not vaped in over a month. Like, it's been a long time, maybe like 5
Girl, wait.
6 weeks. And I don't plan
I'm sorry. What? Hold
on
on.
doing it again for like a hot minute because I'm telling
Girl, okay. So, I'm sorry. I had to take a moment because my brain literally shut down for a moment. She knows because when she vapes, it's not nicotine, it's Delta 8. And when she is vaping that Delta 8 or the gas station weed, I don't know, I guess she's vaping some gas station weed, but when she's vaping that, she knows it gives her the munchies. She knows that it triggers her to overeat, but she does it anyway. Like when she was on the semaglutide, she was on the okay, so she was on the semaglutide, and so she stopped it while she was on that because it was going to cause her to eat, even though she overate on the semaglutide. And now she's like, well, I'm not going to do it for hot minute. You shouldn't do it at all, Amber. To be honest, if you are truly trying to lose weight, because we're still sticking with that grift, I guess. When you're trying to lose weight, you don't want to introduce substances or outside forces that are going to cause you to overeat or snack or binge. Like, what? What?
like my breathing is already so bad, and I know that on days where I vape more than usual, like my breathing's kind of hecticana. So it's like I need to just stay away.
Oh god. I'm sorry to keep pausing this, but drop hecticana. That is the dumb. It's been dumb since the start. But not just that, you shouldn't be vaping with all the things that Amber has going on that are like wrong with her body and her different systems. She shouldn't be inhaling anything other than the air around her.
From that.
What? Wait.
Hi, Mama Lynn. It was nice to see you for like 0.5 seconds.
I won at bingo, but here's the build update. Day 4, I'm on step 181 out of 584 steps, and this is how it looks so far. Hello. So it is the next day. It is March 2nd. So I actually saw my mom for a bit today, but I did not vlog that. I've had a pretty decent day, and if you guys hear noises in the background is because I'm currently drying some clothing. This is a big box because I'm actually fixing to like remodel, for the lack of a better word, out with the old and with the new, a lot of like my kitchen stuff. So I might vlog some of that, we'll see. So as you guys probably remember, I got recommended by a professional 2 borderline personality disorder books. And instead of doing both at the same time, because I don't want to get overwhelmed on top of doing therapy, I decided to start with this one. And as you guys know, I want to keep therapy sacred to myself, but I do want to share my struggles with borderline personality disorder because I struggle bad. And that is a very big part of me. And I want to be very transparent in my journey of like healing that part of me. So we're going to talk about chapter 1 today. So chapter 1 is called BPD 101. And some quotes from it that I want to read are: most people misunderstand what borderline personality disorder is and how it impacts people's lives, which is very true. It's not just the lives of the person that has it, but it's also like the lives of the people around that person. Also, something else it says is getting a clear picture of your BPD is the start of a journey of self-exploration, which will allow you to grow beyond your BPD. And that change is possible. It says that many individuals who meet the criteria for BPD can look back at their childhood and adolescence and see the beginning of the symptoms and patterns, which is so beyond true. Like I look back and realize that like at the age of 16, I was struggling. So there's 9 criteria listed, and an individual needs to meet at least 5 of them to be diagnosed and qualify for the diagnosis of borderline personality disorder.
Okay, so right now what I have pulled up is PubMed. It's from the National Institute of Health. I have it pulled up on my iPad, and I have the criteria that she is going to discuss. And I'm gonna kind of look over it with what she's about to say because it is a little wild. And now I've said it before, I myself have several different mental health things going on, and the claim she's about to make, I have never had this for myself, and I've never seen it in other people who have different diagnoses with their mental health.
I'm going to read the 9 to you, and then I'm going to tell you guys which ones that I have. So number 1 is frantic efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment. 2, a pattern of unstable and intense interpersonal relationships characterized by alternating between extremes of idealization and devaluation. 3, identity disturbance, markedly and persistently unstable self-image or sense of self. My dryer just went off. Hold on a second. Number 4 is impulsivity in at least 2 areas that are potentially self-damaging. For example, spending, sex, substance abuse, reckless driving, binge eating. Number 5 is reoccurrent suicidal behavior, gestures or threats, or self-mutilating behavior. Number 6 is affective instability due to a marked reactivity of mood. So for example, intense episodic dysphoria, irritability, or anxiety usually lasting a few hours and only rarely more than a few days. Number 7 is chronic feelings of emptiness. Number 8 is inappropriate, intense anger or difficulty controlling anger. For example, frequent displays of temper, constant anger, reoccurrent physical fights. So the last one, which is number 9, transient stress-related paranoid ideation or severe dissociative symptoms. And out of the 9, I have all 9. But there is
Well, okay, hold on, let me...
one that I even questioned marking off because it's so low, like on the totem pole. So next part of this chapter was talking about how BPD...
Okay, I guess she's not going to say. This is not true. It is markedly untrue for Amber. So, I'm not saying she doesn't have some of these. I'm sure she does because borderline personality disorder overlaps with a lot of other disorders, things like bipolar disorder, PTSD, anxiety, and that has to do with things like dissociative. The word is dissociative. I'm so sorry. I have to, first of all, it's recurrent and dissociative. Those are the 2 words. It's not reoccurrent and it's not disassociative. Recurrent, dissociative. Okay. Sorry about that. It irks me. So, some of these things overlap with other disorders. The dissociation, the anxiety, mania, or I shouldn't say mania, hypomania, because technically speaking, if you are in a manic state for like a shorter period of time, it's hypomania. It has to last a certain amount of time for it to be considered a manic episode. So let's go through these points one by one. So the first one was frantic efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment. So perhaps she doesn't like being abandoned by anyone, or the thought of someone leaving her, that would not surprise me. She does a lot to try and control people staying with her. We saw it with Destiny. We saw it with Beck. It's not. She did it with Crystal, so I'm not surprised at that. A pattern of unstable and intense interpersonal relationships characterized by alternating between extremes of idealization and devaluation. Now, I don't know, because she has put some people on a pedestal, and then when it comes crashing down, she kind of turns them into persona non grata. Do I think this is from borderline, or do I think it's because she's narcissistic? I don't know. She normally, when people have borderline personality disorder, they have what is referred to as a person. And now I'm saying this not as someone who has this disorder, but from what I've heard from other people who have had it. They have a person. That person is like the center of their world. They would do anything for this person. They are ride or die for that person. And then if something happens, whether it's real or perceived, like the first criteria said, that's it. They just, nope, no more. That person is now an enemy. They went from being the number one person in their life to now an enemy. And they may try to say things that are harmful or hurtful about this person because they feel rejected, whether it is true rejection or perceived rejection. The third one is identity disturbance, markedly and persistently unstable self-image or sense of self. I think Amberlynn knows who she is. I think she lies so much on here, but I think she knows who she is. I think she knows exactly what she's doing. I don't think in that sense, I think she is a very stupid person when it comes to worldly things, but I don't think she's stupid when it comes to being able to manipulate people. I really don't. Impulsivity in at least 2 areas that are potentially self-damaging. Examples are spending, sex, substance abuse, reckless driving, binge eating. Okay, she binge eats, but she says she doesn't do that, so I mean, we all know she does, but I don't think we've really seen her do, I mean, maybe earlier in her teen years, but I don't think there's been a consistent impulsivity that were excuse me. I don't think we've seen things that are impulsive that would cause self-harm besides the binge eating. Recurrent suicidal behavior, gestures or threats, or self-mutilating behavior. So you can argue that her binge eating online is self-harm, but I think it's more like physical, like people who do things to have physical scars on them. The only time we've seen her say something about, and she hasn't even really said it directly, about suicidal thoughts or behaviors, is like maybe once when she was with someone and once online. I would not consider that recurring. Affective instability due to a marked reactivity of mood. Example, intense episodic dysphoria, irritability or anxiety, usually lasting a few hours and only rarely more than a few days. That has to do with mania, like I was saying. Mania is, let me see. So PubMed says 7 days would be a manic episode. 4 days would be hypomanic, episode. So, and those are with like bipolar disorder. So if someone is suffering with that, you may have a differential diagnosis of bipolar disorder rather than borderline. I think that she gets very angry very fast, and I think that she may actually have this one. She does have a lot of irritability. I don't she gets anxious, but I think some of her anxiety is being played up for this. Like, she acts like she has phone anxiety, which she does not. We've seen her do a lot of phone calls and calling people back and whatnot and answering other people's phones. Destiny era. Uh, but yeah, I'm not entirely sure. So the next is chronic feelings of emptiness. Maybe. I don't think she. I think she's probably feels that. I wouldn't be surprised. The eighth is inappropriate, intense anger or difficulty controlling anger. Examples: frequent displays of temper, constant anger, recurrent physical fights. Now, she denies ever physically harming anyone. She denies being a combative person, but I think we've seen it in some of the tales that we've heard from her and the unfortunate stories that we've heard from her exes that she is an angry person. Um, so I would believe that she is combative. And then 9 is transient stress related paranoid ideation or severe dissociative symptoms. No, I don't believe this at all. I don't think that Amber, again, this is from what I've seen her do. I don't think she is a paranoid person. I don't like, I guess her paranoia comes from like trust issues, but that is different than I think what is happening here. And then severe dissociative symptoms. She does not have dissociative symptoms. She has never, ever discussed that. And I know for a fact that if she was dealing with depersonalization, derealization, uh, it would be it would be something she discussed, because those things are very frightening, and when you actually go through them, it is terrifying because sometimes you lose time, sometimes you're unaware of where you are, sometimes you feel like you don't belong in your own body, sometimes you feel like the world around you isn't real. It is very, very strange, and I've dealt with that. It is a very strange feeling. Uh, but I do not think that she has all 9 of the diagnostic criteria for BPD. I think that is absolutely wrong. And I don't think she should be saying that.
Is a spectrum. It says in here that the intensity and severity of each part of the criteria is unique to each person. So I had to answer a ton of questions to see like where you fall on the spectrum, and I fell on extreme. You're supposed to circle, is this
Again, I do not think. I think what she is doing is she's trying to be the most borderline person. I think she's trying to have the most extreme version of borderline personality disorder. And really, if she had the most extreme version of this disorder, if she really had every single diagnostic criteria of BPD, she would not be able to function like this. It would be a nightmare to just live. I mean, reading some of these is very, very difficult to live a quote unquote normal life. It's very difficult to lead a life where you would be able to sit down and do something like this. You would be no, you'd be hard pressed to find someone who fits the diagnostic criteria 1 to 9 of BPD or any diagnostic criteria as a whole for any mental health disorder and have them not be hospitalized many, many times for it.
for you, mild, moderate, severe, or extreme. Gave a ton of statements. So like one that I circled extreme on was frantic efforts to avoid real or imagined abandonment. There was quite a few that I circled extreme and severe on. Actually, I circled severe and extreme on every single one except for one. And then another part of this chapter was just like a Q&A. So obviously I'm not going to read all of my answers to you guys because some of them are personal, but one of them I could read to you guys just so you guys can like understand me a little bit more. In what part or parts of your life, for example, relationship with family and friends, work, how you see yourself, and so on, do these symptoms cause the greatest problems? When I'm in a romantic relationship with someone, it is the worst. So that's where it causes the greatest problems. But it has caused problems with family/friends as well. So it's very rare that it causes problems within my family, thankfully. But like if I have a friendship where I'm extremely close to them and I see them like a lot, it can definitely cause problems in that friendship.
So again, when it comes to different psych disorders, and again, I'm not an expert on BPD, but I would think that your family would notice and would, but then again, like, I mean, Amberlynn has just reconnected with her family, so I'm not sure. But yeah, I think they would have noticed that there was something really wrong. And especially if she has all night, and especially if she's extreme or severe in every single category, you would absolutely know something was wrong.
And obviously when it comes to a partner, because I am talking to them a lot and they become almost like someone I'm reliant on. And I know that's also due to my BPD. When I say reliant, I mean I'm reliant on them like mentally, emotionally, due to like the fear of abandonment, which is really where BPD is like rooted from. And the last thing I want to share is a quote from here. Feeling alone is very common for people with BPD, so common that it's in the criterion, which in parentheses it says chronic feelings of emptiness, but you're not alone. Approximately 18 million or nearly 6% of adults in the United States have been diagnosed with BPD. That shocked me. And it definitely made me feel less alone. And this first chapter was honestly so just like validating. Like I've already done the whole criteria thing because when I was diagnosed.
How long do you think she's gonna keep up with this? Like the therapy and the workbooks and stuff? Because she's always very excited in the beginning and then she just flops.
I had to go through all that, but it's like just doing it again and like thinking of it differently with like a whole different mind frame. I'm able to be more like transparent with myself because I'm not ashamed anymore. For the longest time, like I was ashamed. That's why when people would be like, Amberlynn, I think you have borderline personality disorder, like I would become so defensive. Like I don't understand why. I don't know why anyone would ever be ashamed or embarrassed of something that they went through that caused them to have this. Like it's not your fault. Like, so if you're watching and you're struggling and you have any sort of like shame or embarrassment, simply don't. All right, you guys, we're gonna do a taste test. It is these Duos beef jerky.
I don't care. I don't want to see you stuffing things in that maw of yours. Like, Jesus Christ.
Situation type deal. It's a feed your sweet side and feed your spicy side. Mango and jalapeno beef jerky. So I am a little nervous. Wait, what's the date on this? Oh, okay. Not until 2026. It's because I've had this for a while now. But I was feeling.
It's cured meat. I'm sorry. It's cured meat that is like doused in salt and different preservatives. Like people literally make their own beef jerky and store it forever. I'm not saying, oh, you should do that or you should eat the Beyond Use date. Like, okay, but it's literally like a stick of salt with some meat.
A little snacky, so I said, why not try this? Ooh, that smells so good. Stop right now. So this is what it looks like. I feel like my taster isn't like 100% perfect ever since I had COVID, but I'm not tasting mango. I'm not tasting jalapeno. What is happening? I like just taste beef jerky. There might be like a little sweet, but it's very faint. Let me try another piece. No, no spice. The sweet is like on a scale of 1 to 10, it's like 1. I mean, regardless, it's good, but like I have no idea what's happening. All right, you guys, day 5. Like I said, I'm gonna do daily updates on this. I'm on step 218 on this build that I am doing, and this is how it is looking. Absolutely intense. I have had so many difficulties. I've had so many struggles where a piece wouldn't go in, or I thought I messed up, or something just wasn't going right. Oh, it has been a challenge, but it has been a rewarding challenge. Hello. So it is March 3rd, and I literally just remembered as I was putting away some of my clothing that I forgot to like actually do the Torrid try-on haul. So my actual Torrid haul was a few vlogs ago.
Look at her with the pop of color underneath her eye, I think. I hope it's not like bruising or discoloration, but like, hey, look at that. All right. Eyebrows are still weak.
But we're gonna try on those clothes now and see if they fit. All right, first things first is this dress. The sleeves are so cute, actually. And I really like the cut of it. I like how it goes up right there. And it is a little see-through in the boobage area, but I am...
Okay, Amber, it's see-through because it's stretching so much. She needs to learn her sizing because this is not it. It's see-through because the fabric is being stretched to the extreme.
No, prude, so I am okay with that. We do have pockets, which we love. I love how tight it is here and then a little loose here. And then as we back up, this is what it looks like. It has like a little frilly on the bottom here, just like it does on the sleeves. So it actually fits me pretty well, to be honest. I really like how it looks from the front, but from the side, it's kind of meh because it does have stitching on the bottom here that makes it go in on the bottom, and I don't really care for that. So next.
Oh, God. Yeah. It just... A lot of times she wears stuff and I just have nothing to say about it because it's all ill-fitting because she never gets the correct size.
Is the Mean Girls, Why Are You So Obsessed With Me? I thought this sweater was literally perfect. 1, love the color pink. 2, love the movie Mean Girls. And 3, that is a question I ask all the time. So first things first, the inside of this is like the softest thing I have ever felt. So when we back up here, we can see that it's actually a really good length. I find with my body type and the way that torrid is, sometimes things run super short and it can be like this, or sometimes...
Okay, that's not torrid though. That has to do with the shape of your body. It has to do with the fact that you have a large backside. So when things are draping in the front, they're pulling up on the back. And then this sweater, it's not the worst thing. I think it fits her okay. The color, though, really washes her out. It's like the same color as her skin, almost.
The front part can even be like super high up like this, and I'm just like, no. So yeah, it's super cozy and I love it. Oh my gosh. So next is the checkered over the shoulder sweater, and it just feels huge. Like my arms feel super small and itty bitty, which sometimes that is...
Oh, Ambi. Okay. When it this just reminds me of apathetic facts, like their profile picture, crucifixion Lynn. But that's a lot of fabric, and it's just is fitting in all the wrong ways. I thought from just the shoulder look up, I was like, oh, that's kind of cute. And then she pulled back and I was like, oh my God. She looks like one of those little old time like clowns. Like, you know how they have the big puffy, like, oh no. Oh, Ambi. Oh, geez.
Why, girly pop loves a sweater, but it's like kind of annoying and it's not easy to move in because while this is...
Yeah, it's like stitched way low too. That's what it looks like. It's got like stitching for the sleeves like at the midline. And every time she pulls her arms up, the whole thing goes up.
Super loose. Down here feels like a little tight, a little snug, a little short. But if I pull it up above my booty there, it all just feels loosey-goosey and cozy. But that's what I was saying before. Like, I don't want to have my butt out for the whole world to be looking at. But I will say it's super cute. I love like over the shoulder type of looks. So next is the tragic tee, where I accidentally bought 2 of them, but I'm just gonna give the other one to my mom. So I love this one. I love how light it feels. I love the length. Like, I have 0 complaints about this. Like, it's cozy, it's breathable.
It's fine. It's like a basic black t-shirt. It's a little snug in certain areas, but it's like not the worst.
Being tragic every single day of my life.
Though I will say the neck doesn't fit correctly. It's like bunching weird, and I don't think she has it far enough up. I think she needs to pull that neckline up a little more.
So it's definitely made for me. Last but not least, we have the tank top, which is actually like a sleeper tee. So it fits well. It's super loose, it's long, and this is what it looks like from the side.
I want to know what her definition of super loose is, because I have a sweater that my mom got me for Christmas and I love it. It is now my one of my favorite things to wear. It is so cute. And it is truly loose. It hangs off of me, and the sleeves are big and like they get a little tapered at the end, so they're not as loose. So it's not like flopping everywhere, but it is so comfy and it's cute and it's like actually hanging off of me. This is not loose. If you have to pull at it and pluck at it because it is like clinging to your body, that's not loose. What is your definition, Amber?
Not something that I would ever like wear out, but if I did, I'd probably have like a cardigan over it, and I'd have to lose a little bit more weight to feel like comfortable in it. And by the way, don't let anyone ever make you feel bad of like, if you're wearing a sleeper tee in public and you feel comfy, do it. If you're wearing a bikini top as a bralette, do it. If you're wearing a long shirt as a dress, do it. Do you wear what you love and wear what you feel good in and what you feel comfortable in. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that that was a pretty good torrid haul. And we can't forget about this cardigan. So I did try it on in my last video when I actually did the haul, and I absolutely,
Again, it doesn't really fit. It's supposed to be this like big oversized sweater, cardigan, sweater, whatever you want to call it. It's just not fitting properly.
love it. I almost cannot wait until like the cold weather comes back, because it's fixing to be spring and then summer, and your girl is not going to be wanting to wear this. All right, you guys, we're gonna try another Factor meal. So this one I'm very nervous about. It's the Louisiana shrimp with smoked Gouda cauliflower grits, chicken andouille tomato gravy, and there's also some broccoli in here. I'm hesitant, okay? It is a little liquidy compared to like what I was
Girl, the timer in the background. All right. You know, what the fuck? What is going on?
expecting it to be like, because trust me, I've had grits before, love them, but they did not look like this. I'm fully aware that this is cauliflower grits, so it is different, but let's try it. Okay. The flavor is so good. So shrimp for me is hit or miss depending on texture.
What was that sound? What was that sound in the background? No. Hold on. I'm sorry. We have to go through this again.
Okay. The flavor is so good. So shrimp for me is hit or miss.
Oh no! What the fuck was that? It sounded like someone had diarrhea. Oh, what? I'm sorry. I'm like a broken, like 8-year-old boy. I'm so sorry. Is she okay? Is she alright? What happened?
Depending on texture. I love the taste of shrimp, but texture is where it kind of gets me. Gotta blow it off first. I'm just gonna take a bite of it. The texture and the taste is actually perfect. I was so hesitant on that. I'm gonna get some of the juices. Well, the grits. I mean, this is like a, what did it say, chicken andouille tomato gravy, so maybe that's why it's so liquidy, but it's good. Now let's try the broccoli. By the way, it's storming here. Yes, it is. I'm telling you, their vegetables are on point. But yeah, it's storming here. It was hailing earlier.
That's fine. I love storms. Anyways, it's I've seen it pointed out many, many times, and I agree. I cannot think of a meal like this. And now, I've had Factor, and I've had some pretty good meals from them, but I have not had a Factor meal where I rolled my eyes in the back of my head and was like, oh my god, this is so good. It's literally a TV dinner, just like a little bit healthier. And hey, I'm not gonna knock it. I'm not gonna knock people making TV dinners or whatever. Do what you gotta do. But like just be like, oh my god, this food is so delicious. Like oh, okay. It's food. It's food.
Not my power, I was gonna say my power. My internet is flickering. Genuinely, it's just been hectic on it. Holy, this is good. Wow. So I'm sure some of you are like, why is there a stopwatch behind you? Well, I'll explain in a second. Let me enjoy this delicious broccoli. A lot of people think that like mukbangs are coming back. Literally no. Literally no. People are thinking because I'm sitting down eating a meal that I'm like highly editing that it's a mukbang. Literally no. A mukbang is where you eat large quantities of food and you get to watch the person actually enjoy it.
Well, no, let's not give misinformation. That is what mukbangs turned into. That is the way that they evolved. But really, mukbang started out as social eating. It was supposed to be videos for people who wanted to feel like they were eating with someone, like that they were dining out, or if they were alone eating, they could have someone else to eat with. That's really what they started out as. So this is technically a mukbang. This, like, just because you're not eating massive quantities of food doesn't mean that it doesn't count as social eating. You're sitting down in front of a camera, shoving food into that hole in your face. So it's a mukbang.
To their food, etc., etc. But that is not what's happening here. I have been editing down my eating so much that I take out 97% of my chewing. And the reason why I have this little stopwatch back here is because people are like, oh my god, she's eating it so fast. She's just like gulping it down in like 2 minutes. No, it's because I'm like highly editing it because it's not a mukbang. I'm literally a person who lives alone and who eats alone every single day, all of my meals, and I get lonely. Yes, I do. So sometimes it's nice to come on here and be like, let's try a factor meal. And I think it's a really cool concept for people who like are too lazy to cook or who can't cook or don't have time to cook. Like it doesn't even matter why you have it. But yeah, a mukbang is very much not what I'm doing. I don't know, it's just weird. It's almost like people want that, but they say that they don't, but they really do. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like a form of like reverse psychology. I don't know. This is just a little.
God, this is like almost as bad as watching Foodie Beauty shovel the hubcap of rice down her throat. Like, the two of them eat in a similar fashion, although I will say Foodie Beauty holds her spoon like a toddler. I've always noticed that. I'm like, oh, it's a very interesting grip there. But the two of them, like this, just the shoveling motion, just oh my god, it can't get it in there fast enough. It's insane.
Moment, and I'm lonely, and I want to eat with the people who enjoy eating with me. And there's a lot of you, and there's a lot of you who feel alone and who do message me and say, I miss eating with you. And I'm never gonna film like full-fledged mukbangs again. It's not gonna happen. But little moments like this throughout my vlog, I don't mind doing that. You guys trust me, I get it. I know a lot about loneliness, and I'm really working on like bettering myself, and I'm on Weight Watchers. Definitely not gonna be perfect, but I'm working on my relationship with food, and I like sharing that with you guys. And I think Factor is really gonna help me with that because it's such a wide variety of foods as well. I'm absolutely shocked with how good the shrimp is. And the cauliflower grits.
Oh, okay. Factor would be great for her, or any of these sort of meal prep things that are fast and easy and doesn't take any like actual cooking. You just pop it in the microwave and that's how it's done. I think Factor you can, you know what, let me not say anything because I don't remember, but I it takes no time for these. I think this would be great for her if she used this as her main meal and not how I'm predicting she will be using it as like a snack or like she'll eat 2 or 3 of them. It's yeah, it's good as your main meal, but not for overeating.
I would have no idea that that's cauliflower, but I like cauliflower, so I'd like it regardless. Last piece of broccoli. She's a bigin. Now we have our last shrimp here. Yum. Definitely gonna be getting this one again. This was actually one of the ones that I gave my stepdad and he said he really liked it. All right, so I ate it all. Thoroughly enjoyed that. Wow. And thank you guys for having a meal with me. All right, day 6. I'm on step 242. And this is how it is looking. We now have 2 seats. Look at that. So I actually just got done editing this video and I was about to like get it scheduled and all that stuff. And I realized I do not have an outro. I didn't realize how long this video was, but I hope that you guys did enjoy it and enjoyed the length of it. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.
Goodbye, Amber. All right. Well, there's another one down for the books. She's just such a fascinating specimen. I, I, I don't know what to say. I feel like every time I end one of these, I just am left speechless. Whether it's because she's so boring and then just says the wildest shit, or because there's some real heavy stuff going on. I'm always very speechless. Anyway, I will put timestamps in for my ramble so you can skip it if you would like to. But I just think that for her to come on here and say that she has the most extreme version of borderline personality disorder is very disingenuous, and I don't like that, especially as someone who enjoys learning about psychology and the term abnormal psychology. That's got to do with like mental disorders and uh, diseases and whatnot. Like, yippee, I'm not trying to be rude. That's what it's called. Um, I just I don't like her coming on here and saying things that really do not fit her, or trying to be in some sort of BPD Olympics where she's got the most. She's got the gold medal in having borderline personality disorder, especially since I know people who really struggle with it and have some extreme uh portions of the criteria, and I know how badly it affects them. And seeing someone come on here and just be like, nope, I put all extremes and all severes, and I meet every single criteria. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. Anyways, yeah, and then of course we had to have eating on here because what would Amberlynn Reid be without food? Anyways, my husband sneezed. That's it for this one. And if you have any suggestions for what you would like to see, what you would like me to react to or comment on, please, please, please let me know down in the comments below. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye!